The Los Ratones situation in League of Legends is crazy. It has been great fun to watch, but also one of the most disgusting things to hear about as well. But before I continue, I have to get things straight. I haven't watched their ERL journey. I don't really watch any of their streams except for Kadril for LCK and LEC, but I did keep myself up to date with their accomplishments. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button. I am trying to reach 200 subs this month and we are close to it. Now let's get started. First of all, who the hell is Los Ratones? If you were thinking that, you are not alone. LEC, the league for EU for League of Legends, introduced two new teams for the First Stand tournament. These two teams were from the second division, called ERL. Los Ratones were invited because they were the most consistent team from that division, and KCB were invited for winning the division in November. They consist of former pro players, now turned streamer, and pro players again: Baus, Velia, Nemesis, Crowny, and Reckless. If you have watched League from, say, 2020 or before, you might have heard some of those names before. Nemesis was one of the best mids, and Reckless was one of the best ADCs. Both have played for Fnatic before, too. Crowny also played in the LEC and was really good. As for Baus and Velia, it's their first time playing at this stage. During their ERL journey, they were pretty much bullying the opponents, winning the league back-to-back. During the summer split, they lost to KCB, who then went on to win the whole thing and got invited to LEC. Why was there so much hype around Los Ratones? First off, it was a team owned by Kadril, who is one of the most well-known people for the English-speaking audience for League. And also, they started off as a team who would stream everything, scrims, matches, and everything in between for more engagement, while still working hard to win everything. Individually, the players were already somewhat successful. With this project, everyone got huge audiences and eyes on the team, which eventually led to being invited to LEC. For anyone who doesn't know, League of Legends and Riot Games in general like the exclusivity thing. They want the same few teams to compete in the same few tournaments every single year: LEC, LCK, LPL, MSI, Worlds. The teams, even if they go 0-90, will still have more value than a second division team who, let's say, never lost a single tower in their whole journey. It's been like that for years. No other teams, other than the ones that Riot Games have allowed to be in the division, gets any money from playing the game. Now, there is a way for new teams to get in the LEC. Vitality did that this year. What is that, you might ask? It's by paying 20 million euros. Yeah, 20 freaking million for a spot to play in LEC. But in 2024, Kadril announced that they will be making a team to play in the second division, Los Ratones. They won and won and won, which made them gain so much popularity that people started asking whether Riot is just dumb to not give them a chance for an LEC spot. Everyone was also getting bored of watching them just stomp every team in ERLs. Riot saw an opportunity to bring some hype back to the EU League of Legends and decided to experiment with guest spots. For the first time ever since the creation of divisions, Riot Games decided to bring two teams into the LEC and make them compete at the highest level. A 4-week tournament where teams compete to get one single spot to go to an international tournament called First Stand. Well, LCK and LPL, the leagues from Korea and China, have 2 spots because they are the regions who have won every single Worlds. Besides that, this 4-week tourney is currently being held and the first week just concluded. The reason why some people were mad was that Riot just said Los Ratones was invited because they didn't have to win anything in order to get into the LEC, as they were invited for being consistent. Even though they lost before reaching the finals in the final split last year, they got their spot regardless, whereas KCB had to beat every single one to get a spot. Fair, that reaction is valid. The other reason why people were mad was because teams had to pay 20 million for a spot, but Los Ratones and KCB got it for free, even if it's just for a tournament and not a permanent spot. I don't want to get into what should and should not happen here because it's already been done, and I believe Riot already has this power obsession where they want to be in control of everything, so I will let you tell me what you think of this one in the comments. Okay, finally we get into the main drama. Last week, the LEC First Stand qualifiers started. All 10 previous teams, along with LR and KCB, competed. 3 days, 3 matches for each team. People were really excited to see what LR could do when they faced pro teams, and the hate watchers watched it hoping they would fail. Unfortunately for LR, they lost their first match against Fnatic, which is fair. They're one of the best teams in Europe, so losing against them in the first match is not that bad. Two of the players have never been on this stage, so nerves might have gotten to them or something. But then the next day, they lost to KCB, an ERL team who was also promoted this season. That was when things really started to take a turn for the worse. LR and KC have a long-standing rivalry. KCB are the only ERL team who has a 100% win rate against LR. KC fans are also very aggressive on Twitter and other social media too. They posted some really disturbing things online, which also triggered some quote-unquote LR fans who also started posting stuff about the team. Now, I say fans like that because the stuff they posted are not stuff that fans post. Mitsuko, who is the manager of Cadril, or the team, I don't really know, correct me if I'm wrong. Regardless, the manager got emails saying Cadril is shit, LR is shit, go back to streaming. Just watch this.
My funniest thing is when people are emailing Mitsuko about how much they hate you. That happened yesterday. Mitsuko messaged me. She's like, I have 5 emails from people saying that they hate you. And I was like, oh. We're fucking emailing Mitsuko about it. Emailing. They opened up the fucking Gmail. Because Twitter's not enough. Freaks.
I mean, it just blows my mind how you can write emails to a manager. She does not coach the team. She does not play the game for them. I get that people were angry or they're just haters, but this is just way out of line. That said, Los Ratones also share some responsibility in how this situation is unfolded. Their players do talk a lot of shit. They do say a lot of cocky stuff online and in their streams. For anyone who does not watch their streams regularly or follow them, yeah, funny, right? 8 billion people and there are still people who don't watch Baus and Velia and Cadril and Crowny and everyone else? How can that be? Anyway, for any normal person, if you watch one of these clips about LR guys flaming everyone in the LEC, they might think, what a bunch of losers who think beating ERL teams with ex-LEC players on their squad talk like that. They don't know that those comments really in a fun manner and not like actual flaming of the players. So many people started hate-watching Los Ratones, and when they lost 2 back-to-back games, they took things to a whole nother level. I'm not saying these people are right to do what they did, but if you want to look like a villain, then please expect to be treated as such. I know I might get a lot of hate if people saw this video, but I just had to say what I had in my mind. Regardless, their last match, which was yesterday, they lost again. This time it was with the main KC roster and not KCB, making LR the only team to have a 0-3 record. After their match, they posted this video on Twitter. This again is way too far. Filming someone without their permission and shoving a camera in their face is just too much. Take the win, have a joke for them maybe, and move on. KC is a top contender for winning the whole thing, and if you're doing that for an ERL team, it just makes it shameful for you. For me, I think LR are a fun team to watch. They do some really crazy stuff. Vi-top, volley-top, it's just fun to watch. But I think they're not good enough for the top spot. But I would love for them to shut me up with their performance as well. I'm not someone who will find hundreds of excuses if they start winning. I will accept that LR is a good team. But for now, their record does justify my speculation. Well, this week they play 3 matches again. The first match is against Giant-X, then Team Heretics, and then Shifters. Shifters and Giant-X both have 2 wins and 1 loss, and Team Heretics has 1 win and 2 losses. Giant-X won against G2, and Shifters won against Fnatic last week, so they might be tough opponents, even though on paper, Shifters are the quote-unquote weaker teams, having old pro players coming together along with Mickey X to form a squad. It should be a better week for LR, and maybe they might find a win or 2. For a team to reach the playoffs, they need to be in the top 8 out of 12 teams, so maybe like 4 to 5 wins might secure that. I don't know exactly. Everyone only has 3 more weeks to secure their spot. G2, who won the final split last year and made it to top 8 in Worlds, did lose their first 2 matches, but absolutely demolished Shifters last night. With the current standings, both KCB and LR are out of the top 8, with only LR having 100% losing rate.